Good morning, everyone. Pastor Corey Rowland here with Yorksville First, Midvale, and Newport United Methodist Church, bringing you a devotional today out of Leviticus 23, verse 3, and it says, "You have 6 days each week for an ordinary work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath, a day of complete rest, an official day of holy assembly. It is the Lord's Sabbath day, and it must be observed wherever you live." And so this is the importance of taking a Sabbath. Now, for the Jewish people, their Sabbath is on Saturday, and I take my Sabbath usually on Fridays, and for most people, the Sabbath involves probably a Sunday. I think that's probably what works out best, but it is important because for many of us, we have lost this idea of taking a Sabbath, especially here in America where things are so rush. You know, time is money. We don't take time to rest. We don't take time to just take a day and rest because we're constantly moving. We're constantly at work. Now, the Sabbath wasn't just about taking a rest. Really, the application of the Sabbath was stopping your ordinary work. He says you have 6 days a week for your ordinary work. So the Sabbath was a break in the week. And basically on the Sabbath, now the Jewish people had specific laws of what they could and could not do, but for the spiritual application for us today, basically the Sabbath is not a day where you should do anything arduous. It doesn't mean you just have to lay around all day. Now, if that is what you need, then do that. But it's a day where you take time for yourself. Maybe you do something you enjoy. For example, I have in the past, I have used my Sabbath and my mother has a big field, and I have used my Sabbath to go mow her field using a riding lawnmower. And I find that so relaxing. I find that just a time that I can be out there and pray with God, and pray to God. And so that's sometimes how I use my Sabbath. Now, that's not always what I do, but basically it's a break from ordinary work, a time where you can take time to do what you enjoy or to do what relaxes you. And most important about a Sabbath is it was a day to acknowledge God. So it wasn't just about the rest, but it was about taking time to step back and acknowledge all that God has done for you. And the Lord said, and very clearly, it is the Lord's Sabbath, and it ought to be observed. And it's so important that He made this one of the 10 Commandments. He said, you must, honor the Sabbath, keep it holy. And we do this by, again, doing two things: take a break from the ordinary work and acknowledge and honor God. So a day that you are not doing your ordinary work, a day that you are taking a break from your ordinary schedule, and a day that you are honoring God. And this is a command that we must follow. It says wherever you live. It is a command. Yes, it's in the Old Testament, but it holds true today. Honor the Sabbath. So my message for you is whatever day you find best, take a Sabbath. Take a rest from your ordinary work and take some time to acknowledge all the goodness of God. Amen.